The psychology of pseudo-intellectual midwits. Chat, I'm a pseudo-intellectual midwit. I use Reddit all the time. I have many Reddit golds. You're just jealous of me. My pseudo-intellectualism is higher than yours. We know. Yep. You got me. You got me. You got me. All right, I'm ready. Remnant777. Never heard of this guy, but I've been recommended this video, so we'll watch it.
Today, we will be looking at the most obnoxious, unlikable, pretentious phenotype out there. The
Redditors.
midwitted pseudo-intellectual. I mean, they're literally what you would get if you took the actually meme and turned it
I was literally about to say, like, actually, that's not accurate.
into a literal person. And to clarify, for those who don't know, a midwit is someone who's of average intelligence, and they think of themselves and present themselves as someone of higher intelligence, which is seen in this meme of the midwit. Then after that, we have this...
I'm the caveman guy right here. Go back down, go back down. This one, I'm this one. I got a dent in my head. I'm special.
And after that, we have this pseudo-intellectual. This person is deceptive. They pretend to be knowledgeable or intelligent. While
wait, I think we have watched this guy's videos before. Oh, wait, it was about something else. I forget what it was. This guy makes good videos. I recognize his editing style.
They are somebody who lacks genuine depth and understanding of a subject. Now, these are two distinctly different things, but they have a lot of overlap. And a lot of the traits we just covered, they're generally seen in the same people. And as somebody who has a lot of experience with these people in general, I believe I have a very good understanding of them. I know how they operate, why they behave the way that they do, and how to spot them. But here's the thing, plenty of videos already have gone over this. They've covered this exact same topic. And I would say that they're very valuable. And for the sake of not regurgitating that same information, think of this video as an addendum to their work. And not the
I haven't seen these, but I'm ready.
Firstly, we have to understand them, know exactly what drives them, and at their core,
Reddit upvotes and people saying how awesome and smart they are. Selects pirate software. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the pseudo-intellectualism is very much a thing with people who derive value from praise and getting updates and being told that they're really, really smart, stroking their ego, stroking their shit. Yep.
They are very antisocial people who are extremely insecure. That is where a lot of their obnoxious behavior stems from. Now, let me give you an example here. Let's say that you were talking to one of these midwits, and you said, the weather outside looks beautiful. Off of that statement alone, they're gonna rush into it and say, yes, it is. And that happens because of the high pressure systems over our heads. You see, the clear skies happen when the air sinks instead of rising in the way that the sunlight scatters through the atmosphere.
It's verbal diarrhea. I used that word a lot yesterday.
We haven't even talked about what do you even mean by beauty and how we can prove what beauty is at the end of the day. Oh my word. Just shut up. Nobody cares.
Yeah!
Nobody gives a shit about whatever you're saying right there. We have all had this happen to us. We've had this person who goes on an extremely long tangent that nobody cares about, just for the sole purpose of demonstrating
why does this actually describe pirate software to a T? With the blackboard and the white and being like, actually, a sandwich isn't a sandwich, it's like a pizza. Like, that's like his most famous one, where he's like writing on the drawing, he's like, actually, a sandwich is not a sandwich, it's a pizza.
How much they've read.
And then it's like a short with like 10 trillion views.
Is because when you interact with them, is what is always at the center of their mind is, how can I take this opportunity to show the people around me how smart and knowledgeable I am? Which at the end of the day is rotten to the core because it is only self-serving. And people can sense this. We all sense this coming a mile away and we hate it. Which ties into the key aspect of pseudo-intellectuals, why they're feigning knowledge, wisdom, or intelligence. They don't learn the things that they do because it's useful to implement it into their own lives. No, they don't care about that. What they care about is using it to impress the people around them.
There's people who did this back when the internet wasn't even that popular, and Reddit wasn't even a thing yet. People would just spit out factoids. I remember kids in school would do that. They just randomly be like, "Oh my god, did you know that?" Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, what does that got to do with the conversation? It's just so that they can hear themselves talk and sound really smart. So basically streamers, before streamers were a thing.
Which is just fake and shallow at the end of the day. Everybody hates it. And the way we know that it's true is because if you pay attention to a person's actions, it will tell you what they actually care about, what they value, what their goal is with their interaction with you. If you and me, we were talking...
Like asking to collab and then saying how much money they would have made if they collabed together. Yeah. No, I really wanted to be friends, but my manager boyfriend said that, like, we should make a collab happen so that we can make a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
To each other, and I stop to listen to you. I start to ask questions about you. I hear you out. This is my way of conveying without words that I care about you. I care about the things you're saying to me. You deserve my attention. That's what you're showing with your actions. Well, on the other hand, if I just ignored you, I talked over you, I just went on long, irrelevant tangents about the things I know, that is my way of saying to you, you are unimportant to me. What I truly care about is not you, but it's how I appear to you. You see what I'm getting at? This is one simple example to explain the lens in which we need to view these things. If you use this lens to view all social interactions between people, you will have a better understanding of people in general. And it's through this lens that we can examine some of the stereotypical behavior of these midwits. One common example is the nitpicking behavior. It could be you make a small typo, you mispronounce something, and they'll hold
my spelling was... Oh, fuck, you fucking... I literally was about to say, minor spelling mistake, your argument is invalid.
In on that and use it against you. Well,
the Final Fantasy meme.
Reality, it's not an issue.
Classic.
Everybody knew what you meant. We could let it slide and it wouldn't change anything. But the midwit, the pseudo-intellectual, they will not. These people will never miss an opportunity to pop in and show, actually, this is the correct way you say it. This is what you actually mean. And at the end of the day, this action, it doesn't aid in the conversation. It doesn't aid in clarifying.
Yeah, you're not actually addressing anything and proving the point. I had a lot of people arguing with me on Twitter and saying like, oh, well, it's just because she's an OnlyFans girl. That's why you're shitting on her. I'm like, it's not about that. I literally said it so many times. You're advertising your OF and Fansly on your birthing stream, and then you're saying and putting yourself between the argument that I'm putting down and saying, oh, you're just shitting on her because she's a woman making money off of sex. It's like, no, because you're involving a child with it, you fucking freak. Sorry, I'm really hung up on that still.
Anything to
because they don't actually address the point that you're trying to make, and then they go like, actually...
And it is nothing more to these people than an opportunity to showcase how much they know at your expense. Again, you gotta remember what is at the forefront of their mind. Look at me, look at how much I know. Shut up and pay attention to me. Look and see how smart I am. And what is so ironic at the end of the day is they characteristically don't even understand what they're talking about. It's all surface level. I tell you, one time I was...
And again, that's proven with Pirate Software. When people started questioning his ability to code, he immediately started saying like, oh my god, I know exactly how to code. I'm sorry I'm not perfect or anything, but like, I never touted myself as like this really knowledgeable person. It's like, actually you kind of did. Like, people expected you to at least know how to code, and you getting criticized for your coding and it's saying it's bad and that you didn't actually progress the game that you were working on at all. Meanwhile, you were streaming all the time and scamming people out of money, basically. And then saying a million times that you worked in Blizzard!
Talking to a guy, and he asked me what I do. And I told him I do freelance video editing.
Is this a
because
video
that is
about
what I was
Pirate
focusing
Software?
on at the
No,
time.
it's not.
And instantly he jumped in and said, oh, you should go to Fiverr. I heard there are people who make a lot of money on there.
Oh.
You should try it out. You should do the smart thing and let the business come to you rather than seek it out yourself. And I politely told him that's not how it works. You can't just simply make a Fiverr account and expect it to work from there.
Big booby loving knight. I like this guy.
I've looked
Me
into this as a
too.
freelancer. It's a lot harder than you make it out to be.
It
It's
is really
not
hard.
that simple. But he didn't listen. He said, no. Trust me. I've seen it. You can just make an account on there and you'll blow up. Trust me. I mean, just try it out. Can't hurt, right? And we went back and forth and we were talking about this until I finally asked him and said, wait, have you ever done any video editing yourself
No.
or any commissions? And he said, no, I haven't. And then I asked him again, have you done any work on Fiverr? And then he said, nah, man, but I've heard people do really well on it. And then I instantly realized,
It's kind of why I never listened to people that told me I should start streaming. Back in like, I want to say, people started saying it back in like 2020 that I should have started streaming. And then I'm like, you know, streaming's kind of like a difficult thing to juggle while you're working. And I don't think I'm that entertaining. And it's like, oh, well, you should just do it. Cause like, you know, I've seen a lot of people succeed. And I'm like, do you know how many people failed? What? That's why I didn't start streaming, because there are so many people that I just didn't, like, they only had a very surface level understanding of how streaming works. And I didn't think that I would be good enough, which I wasn't initially, in my opinion. I took a lot to, like, grow and, like, learn and make mistakes.
right at that moment, I wasted my whole time.
I'm not trying to say, like, oh, well, now look at you. And I'm like, but guys, if I streamed back then, I don't think I would be here today, because it's like the time span is insane, first of all. And I also grew as a person from 2020 to 2022 or 23 when I started thinking about it seriously.
I'm talking to this fucking idiot
Yamko,
who
thank
doesn't
you for
know
the 10
anything he's
gifted, I
talking about,
appreciate it.
who's telling me
Thank you.
what I should do. And what's worse is if you stop to think about it, you realize these people don't care about you at all.
Yeah.
Again, all of this is performative. The only thing he really cared about and wanted to hear was for me to say is, yes, I will do this thing that you suggested, so he can feel good about himself. That's all he wanted. That's all he cared about. This whole conversation at the end of the day was simply self-serving to him, to give him an ego boost. But let me tell you about another story, another interaction I had. I one time met this girl and asked her, what are you going into college for? And she said photography. And then she told me what her
Wow.
whole plan was, to get hired by a big company and to do their marketing for them. And for everybody who's into photography, I know you've heard this a billion times before. People tell you, you should become a freelance wedding photographer. You should
Oh my god. I actually took photography up until the last year senior class or whatever it's called, senior year. So many people asking you to do weddings for them. It's actually ridiculous.
start your own business. You'll make
Yeah.
so much money. Just take pictures of people at their weddings.
Yeah,
That's what you should do.
it's not like there's 10 trillion other people doing the exact same thing.
But instead of saying any of
Did
that,
you do any? No, I did not. But a lot of my friends did.
I stopped and said, I'm
Yep.
curious, why are you interested in working for a corporation instead of doing freelance work like everybody says? And after that, she instantly lit up. She told me why. She went over the pros and cons of it. She talked about the negatives of doing freelance work
Okay.
rather than having a stable job at a company. Different things like that. She went into great detail about this thing. Because guess what? It's not my place to give her advice in her own field that I know nothing about. The only position I am in as someone who doesn't
Yeah.
do photography while she's pursuing it, thinking about it for hours every day, is to ask her questions. I'm not in the position to give her advice, especially unrequested advice.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of used to it when people tell me, like, not even in chat. I'm just saying, like, generally, they're like, oh, well, you should do this on stream. And I'm like, did you stream? Do you know, like, how streaming works? Do you know the rules of streaming? Do you know how Twitch works? No, I just think it'd be a good idea. And I'm like, sometimes it's a good idea, like a suggestion, but, like, at the end of the day, it's like, do you know how streaming works? I would honestly, here's my take. I think that someone who views streamers a lot 24/7 has more knowledge than just like a random person on the street. Because they, even though they're not in the streamer's perspective, they actually have at least the passive knowledge gained from how a streamer behaves. on stream, and maybe they even talk about how streaming is, and oh fuck, my fucking hand fell off mid-talk. Fuck. Well, you get my point, though. You get my point. Like, a person who engages in the hobby, even if they're a bystander, at least have some modicum of knowledge and understanding. My hand fell off. Yeah, I'm gonna try and fix it.
Because most people out there, they don't do these things because they believe it's the best. They want to help you. They do it to paint themselves as an intellectual. One of the reasons why I believe these midwits and these pseudo-intellectuals do this, these Redditors, they like to convince...
And you know what? They actually make people who mean well, look worse. Genuinely, I think that those people that are just genuinely just a little bit stupid, I always give people in real life the benefit of the doubt when they start talking about, oh, well, you should do this or you should do that, because they just don't know any better. Like, I don't know, if I told my parents I stream and then they started giving me suggestions, I wouldn't hate them for it. They're not being pseudo-intellectual. They just want to help. And I view chatters like that too, by the way. Chatters can be very, very useful, and they can have good suggestions, but a lot of the time they do not. But I always take it as like they're just trying to help. It's not coming from a place of like, actually I know better than you, you dumb bitch kind of moment. What about if you're just autistic and not a midwit? But you're autistic. That makes you smart. You're a smart little chatter. Also, Parsi, you were in that frickin' Hassan clip, by the way. We caught you again. You little frick. Yeah, you. We caught you, red-handed.
Themselves that they're smart, they're educated, and it's all a cope to them because they have low self-esteem. It's like, hey, maybe I look like shit. Maybe I smell like shit. I'm unlikable. I'm ugly. But I can at least go on long monologues that nobody pays attention to. People...
I feel like this guy made a video about pirate software without saying it. There's no shot. I know he didn't name it a single time, but still.
Compliment me and tell me how smart I am, right? That's why so many people
There's no shot. He actually did, I think.
Intelligence.
Maybe
They
he
take
didn't. I
pride
don't
in
know.
their
I'm just talking out my
intelligence.
ass.
They base their
This is really
self-esteem
funny.
upon it, which is unhealthy. I don't think you should do that. Because if you are actually intelligent, that is not an earned virtue. You did nothing to earn it. You were simply born with it. People who fixate on their own intelligence, they usually have nothing going on in their lives. That they can rest their
True,
self-esteem
I don't. I'm a
on.
streamer.
That alone is their one pillar they rely on. And if you threaten that, if you shake it by being smarter than them or undermining their intelligence, they will hate you. Because that's the one thing they have in life.
Exactly. That's what pirate software did when those people that were actually coders pointed it out. He started attacking them personally. They're like, well, he doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. He's just a dude on the internet. It's like, but he has credentials, unlike you.
Never undermine it or shake it.
That's
Never
crazy.
point out how they are wrong, because they will hate you. And what we can learn from this is, one, we should not rest our self-esteem on intelligence. Secondly, we need multiple pillars of self-esteem. If you base it off of intelligence, there are going to be people out there, by virtue of existing, that will make you feel inferior and hateful. Whereas, let's say you're a retard. You can be a happy, lovable retard. You can say to yourself, well, I might be retarded, but I'm at least moderately attractive, or I take care of my looks. I'm likable, people enjoy me. I make the people around me laugh, I'm charismatic. I have other positive qualities about myself. And this retard, when he meets somebody who's smarter than him, he's not going to be insecure whatsoever. He's not going to be combative with them. He's not going to be insecure around them. He's going to love them. And that is what you need to do. Be like the retard instead of the midwit or the pseudo-intellectual who do everything in their power to feel good about themselves. Feel very intelligent.
If someone calls me a retard, I'm okay with that. I'll try and disprove you, but you know, I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's engage in an intellectual debate.
And get that.
We're not gonna
ego
get
boost.
mad.
Don't do that. And one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a truth nuke. I usually don't call it a truth nuke, but I'm very confident with this, and everybody needs to hear this. One, people do not care at all how you appear to them. Nobody cares about how you talk about yourself or how you...
I think gaining intelligence, or at least having a modicum of intelligence, gives you an unfortunate ego Have you guys ever heard of the analogy of like, if I was born with Down syndrome, I would be a lot happier than the person who's like, I don't know, managing like a company and has to juggle a bunch of shit, because at the end of the day, the person who has Down syndrome just lives their life, is happy, and just doesn't, like, they just live their life and they don't have to worry about all these things. Yeah, they don't have like a bunch of things that they're responsible for. They don't have to think about it too hard. Because it's like ignorance is bliss kind of thing. Yeah. Knowing more makes you sad and angry. Oh, that's like another thing. There's a study that was done a long time ago that alcoholics tend to be on the smarter side of the spectrum because they're coping with the knowledge of everything that's happening around them, because they're intelligent and have the concept of like understanding what's going around in their world, as opposed to someone who is of lower intelligence. And I'm not even necessarily saying like someone who has Down syndrome or is actually unironically lacking chromosomes and has a disability. I'm talking like they're just lower on the spectrum. They're just more focused on their own world, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's really sad. Like, it makes a lot of sense, but it's sad and true. Yeah, it's like a study done somewhere that people that have higher intelligence are more likely to be alcoholics.
You frame
or do
yourself to
drugs.
be in front of them, or you say things that are solely designed to impress other people. Nobody's paying attention when you go on these long monologues. People block it out. They start to daydream. Nobody cares about you. That's the truth. Nobody cares. But what they do care about are two things: how you make them feel, and also what value you supply to them. People care about and love people who make themselves feel good. What is actually valuable is the skill of making other people feel smart, loved, valued, happy. People will love you for that.
Yeah.
That is what is extremely important. And also,
positivity.
being a valuable asset in general. If you supply value to people, you give to them in whatever way you can. People will love you and value for that. And oddly enough, if you're supplying value to people, they oftentimes view you as intelligent. If you want to be seen as intelligent, just be competent. Just be a person who focuses on and pays attention to other people, what they need.
What was really damning to me, and again, I apologize for bringing up Pirate Software again, but there's literally a clip of him wiping the raid on that new game, Ashes of Creation, I think it was. And it was his fault, and he took zero responsibility. And I thought to myself for a moment, like, even if I wiped the raid and I was really mad, and I knew it was me that did it, I wouldn't blame chat, because it's like, you make the logical conclusion of like, why would you attack your audience even if you truly believe that it was their fault and like they distracted you or something happened or they didn't make a call out? You wouldn't freak out at them, right? It's counterintuitive to like being a part of a community and like being, so to speak, like a leader in your field. That would be funny, but I mean, no, I'm just saying logically, right? He went insane on his raid team, threatened whoever was responsible. They fought people who said it was him until they showed him undeniable evidence, and he brushed it off. That's what I'm saying. He was brought clip evidence of him being the one that fireballed or pulled it, and then everybody wiped, and it was a waste of time. Like, I get it. But at the end of the day, like, he should have apologized. And it just shows that he doesn't actually care about his community. It just didn't say like, oh, sorry guys, I was really, really mad. I'm sorry. You know, like, I was in the moment.
They feel.
Because I get it. Like, maybe he truly believed that it was like his fault, but I mean, not his fault, but he should have just been like, sorry, my bad, and just moved on.
And supply also value to them with
some
your
people,
actions.
it's
That
just
is
like
what you should
impossible, I
focus on.
guess.
Then maybe people will view you as smart. But again, who cares? You shouldn't even be focusing on that anymore.
Holy
you gotta
shit, that's a
focus
video.
on other people rather than being
Jesus Christ.
self-absorbed. And that's the
I
end
can't
of this
watch
video.
that,
I
man.
hope
That's
you enjoyed
scary.
it. If
I
you
hate
did,
that.
be sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. And as always, I hope
That
you
clip
have a
makes
good
me
one.
sad. Oh my goodness. Is it amazing how many people are avoided or just those words? Yeah, I'm sorry, or my bad. Go check him out. That was a really good video. We've seen him before. I forget what his other video was about that we watched. It was really good. I think it was a really popular one. Oh, it was this one. This one was a really, really good video. This one. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good video. Cool guy. We should watch more videos by him.